Officer Brown, your person did not show up, so that'll be a default. You can go ahead and go.
I'm here.
All right, Mr. Dillenbeck, you able to hear us?
Yes.
All right. This says that on May 19th of this year on East Allegan Street there in Martin Township, Allegan County, state of Michigan, that you had violation of seatbelt law. That is a civil infraction, sir. You are here on that civil infraction to do one of three things. First is you could admit responsibility to the citation, or two, admit responsibility, but you'd like to provide some sort of explanation as to how or why this happened. Or three, you wish to contest this ticket. In other words, fight this ticket at what we call informal hearing. What were you looking to do?
I was wearing my seatbelt, so I will not admit I wasn't.
All right, so you wish to fight the ticket?
Yes, sir.
All right, now what I'm going to ask both of you to do is raise your right hand. You swear or affirm that any testimony you give here today would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
I do.
All right. Mr. Dillenbeck, it makes a lot more sense for me to start with the officer. She has the burden to establish to me why she issued you the citation in the first place. But after that, you'll have the opportunity to either ask questions or testify in your own behalf. All right.
Yes, sir.
And with that, Deputy, you want to pick up the narrative
Okay.
and explain this issuing of this citation.
Yeah, on 519, I was stationary on East Allegan and observed Mr. Dillenbeck traveling east on East Allegan, and I noted that he did not have on a seatbelt. The weather was clear and at an appropriate time of day for me to be able to see through. I issued him the ticket.
All right. Do you have any conversation?
He reported that he had his seatbelt on, and I advised him that I was in a position that I did not see him wear a seatbelt, so I cited him for it.
All right. And then, Mr. Dillenbeck, what is it you'd like to tell me?
I always wear my seatbelt. If I wasn't, I'd just pay the ticket and say, well, that was dumb, but I always wear it. And I had it on that day. You can look at my record. I don't get tickets. My cousin is an undersheriff in an adjoining county, and I respect law enforcement to the extent of everything. And if I was guilty, I would say so, but I'm not guilty. I had it on.
All right. Do you know this officer prior to this stop?
No, sir, never met her.
All right. So, Deputy Hempstead, let me ask you a few more questions. By the time you were able to go up and talk to him, was he wearing a seatbelt?
He was when I walked up to him, yes.
All right. And that was just typical
Just the amount of
cross-chest?
time. Yes. He was wearing the,
All right.
the shoulder and belt one.
And you did not see that as he drove past you?
No, I did not. Otherwise, I would not have made the stop.
All right. He's coming. You said you're stationary. He's driving eastbound. Which way are you facing?
I would have been facing
South.
south from where I was. I would at the church.
Okay. So he drove full
In
past
the
you, and
closest-
you would have been on the driver's side of his car.
I would have been facing south, so I was on the north side of the road.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. So he came past you on his driver's side.
Yes.
All right. Well, for purposes of informal hearing, I just have to find that the officer has met the burden as far as the statute is concerned about the seatbelt and not seeing the seatbelt as you drove past, and then that you obviously have your seatbelt on when she's talking to you. I would find that she has met the elements on the citation, sir. But because you did contest this, you do have a right to say, I don't agree with what just happened there. I wish to take this to what's called formal hearing. Formal hearing is in front of the district court judges with the prosecutor's office. You are able to continue this if you don't agree with my finding. But what that means is you would have to ask for that formal hearing within 7 days of today's date, and you'd have to ask for that formally in writing, sir. Do you understand your rights on appeal?
Yep.
All right, then we're all set for what we need to do here today. Thank you. I'm just gonna copy you back and waiting, because you have the next one as well.
Yes.